Have I been going about YouTube completely incorrectly? Have I approached YouTube against my own principles? My principle is cross the chasm from the right. Instead, I've been trying to gain adoption with things that are innovative versus things that already have crossed the chasm. What have I been trying to do? I've been trying to get distribution for what they don't teach you in school. What have I been trying to do? I've been trying to get you to sell my content while you profit. But that's counter to what you've ever done. What you've done prior is not adopted things quickly. Maybe you're not an early adopter. Why am I trying to find early adopters? I should be finding late adopters. I should be finding bandwagon fans. That's why I've been going about YouTube slightly incorrectly. Let's correct our approach. Let's keep all the things that were working and supplant, substitute, cut away the things that weren't working. That's why this is a reboot. That's why this is a relaunch. This is why this is a launch party where what if we just did a channel that was still focused on what they don't teach you in school, but comedic material primarily. Look at how many videos where I talk about doing comedy, and if we're being honest, it's 98% educational, 60% comedy. And then the time that I took to make complex material funny, that would make it even more intimidating for other people because then they're like, whoa, this stuff is purely genius and he's making jokes out of it. It's not over my head, it's right at my head, but now I'm intimidated and now I don't want to click with it, right? So, this is the focus that we're doing now, which is things I learned on YouTube that are funny, things I learned on YouTube that are funny that they don't teach you in school, things I learned on YouTube that I will not link to in the link below. Bullet point number one, comedy session, joke number one, mewing. Mew mew. Mew mew is funny because it could mean four or five or definitely three funny things. What is a double entendre? A double entendre is where it's funny two or three ways, or maybe five ways, like a three-way gone wrong, and then two more girls show up. Mew Mew, Mew Mew, Mew Mew is this concept where you, like a cunning linguist, like a vagina whisperer, you do better tongue management. That's mewing. Mewing is Dr. Mew. Oh, darn it. I was supposed to not link to the video below, which there is no link to the video below. It's Dr. Mew. Remember, my channel's been rebranded to be funny shit that I saw on YouTube, Mew Mew, segment one comedy. So this doctor, he ascertained that tongue placement helps your face get hot. So I'm watching this video going, I want a hotter face, right? So then Oscar Patel talks about his mentor via not a link down below, but he actually talks about it in a summary. You see, people don't want to follow up. I was trying to get people to follow up because following up helps you make a crap ton of money. No more of that. No follow up required, no further research required. This is this video, not necessarily dumbed down, but dumbed down, where you don't have to focus a future effort to expand on a prior. We're rolling. Oscar Patel. He has this Dr. Mew mewing exercise. So then he says, okay, place your tongue at the top of your mouth, look up, smile, now swallow. So I do this exercise, and then he's like, where's your tongue? Where's your tongue when you sleep? Tongue placement in your palate affects how hot your face is. And then he says something that I used my left brain and my right brain, but initially my left brain. Initially, my right brain was jealous. Like, this is the perfect video. It's before you were this, after you're this. I do before and after maybe 5 times per 3-hour live stream. Hold that thought. Good job holding that thought. So I'm watching this video and I'm getting jealous because there are multiple before and afters. I would say within a 15-minute video, there are 50 before and afters. 50. That's like a comedy session with 900 jokes inside of 30 minutes. That's like the 12 days of Christmas where there are 2,026 days of Christmas in 1 year. How do you get more than 365 days of Christmas? How do you get more than 365 days of Christmas? How do you get more than 12 days of Christmas? Oscar Patel, how do you get 50 before and 50 afters in one before and after video? How is this channel on, hey, Larry, tell me about hilarious things that you've seen on YouTube? Okay, so I'm watching Oscar Patel, and he's talking about mewing. So the technique was his technique, which I'll repeat, which is tongue, tongue, top of mouth, look up, smile, swallow. Leave your tongue there. Keep your tongue there all the time using suction. I'm watching this video simultaneously, watching all the before and afters. Why is before and after good? Because it's a constant flow of before, after. Before you used to be a loser, after you're amazing. Before, after, before, after. With all these before and afters, I was getting jealous. I was also getting jealous because this content was so in sync to, would you like to watch 5 more videos? Which is the opposite of my approach, which is, would you like to watch this one video and then never watch another video on YouTube ever again? That's why I was getting jealous. I was also getting jealous because of tongue placement and the recommendation to put tongue in a certain place. I was like, I wish I would have had the proper tongue placement. I wish I would have had this. So, the conclusion of this video that Oscar Patel did was use suction to keep your tongue at the roof of your mouth. There's no way that your tongue would otherwise be kept in the roof of your mouth. Also, keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth while you're sleeping. Okay, is that possible? What am I doing now with my tongue? This is what meditation is. This is what I learned also on YouTube via Joe Dispenza content, which is when you're meditating, you're actively thinking about things that you've never thought of. What if you were to think to yourself, hey, where does my tongue go? That's what you would ponder during meditation. This is the jaw-dropping thing that I learned, which is which is which is thank you for making me laugh and distracting me, which has actually never happened. This is the new Larry Chiang. Distracted, laughing at comments, having a good time. I asked myself during this moment of jealousy, which I also don't have. I know so many new things that we're experiencing. Thank you, audience. I also never rub my nose. So many new things, new frontiers. So during this meditation, I'm now aware of where my tongue is. Guess where it is? Guess where it is? Guess where it is? It's in the perfect position. I already was doing this. So I went from being jealous of, hey, I wish my content were this good. Hey, I wish my brain were this good. Hey, I wish I had best practices in being a supermodel. This is a video that I watched on good-looking people getting better looking, tongue placement, mewing. This stuff works because he's got a new channel based on Dr. Mew, who has been doing this for decades. He didn't get credit for it. This guy, Oscar Patel, did. That's why I'm doing a launch party for this channel. They don't understand the things I say on Twitter, says the Nigerian Nightmare. So the reason that's funny is if you did understand everything I said on Twitter, I would have been worshipped. And I don't want the worship on Twitter. I want arbitrage. Let me repeat that because this is also applicable to YouTube. I don't want the worship. I don't want hero status. I don't want to be your savior. I just want an arbitrage on Twitter. What is an arbitrage and how can you use Twitter? For me, Twitter is a journal and YouTube is not therapy. It's practice in playing the game on hard mode. Why do I want to play on hard mode? Because I intrinsically already know about mewing. This is us collecting things on what they don't teach you in school. This is the tweak and rebrand of this channel, which is funny stuff I learned on YouTube mewing. You see, tongue placement and mouth facial contortion is more possible because your face and your brain are the most moldable things that you have on your body. That's why your face shape changes. This is why it's funny because have you ever seen two people that look like their brother sister? And I'm not talking about the third world country that a third of my audience is from. The reason your parents look like their brother sister is because of incest. Incestual first cousin offspring. That's why the IQ is so low. Are these things hilarious? I didn't know until I learned it on YouTube, which is, I had no idea that Pakistan, India had so much trash. And I also didn't understand why my California restaurant gives me a paper straw. It's because of all the plastic that's in the ocean. It turns out it's just two countries pushing all the plastic. 90% of the plastic comes from one or two countries. Also, I learned on YouTube that IQs of certain countries are low, low like retard low. Think about the fact that also what I learned on YouTube is I shouldn't say the R word. And that's because it's true. Saying things that are true was banned temporarily on YouTube. Now it's a free for all. Everyone's starting to use the R word with a hard D. Things I learned on YouTube that they didn't teach you in school. I had no idea that first cousin marriage producing offspring was a thing. I had no idea until I watched YouTube videos on people reaming the third world. Why are you coming to the country so backwards? Something that after I watched on YouTube connected with a thought I already had, which was I wonder if when people say, I don't speak English, I'm not literate, I began to train in their language. So when I would train in their language, then that would be, oh my God, not only are you illiterate in English, you're also illiterate in your language. Because when I'm pretty literate in English, I'm able to cross train Portuguese. I'm able to cross train Japanese. I'm able to cross train Spanish. Realizing that some of the people who are illiterate in English also are illiterate in their own language, being illiterate in English was just a really, really, really good excuse. Oh, I'm new here. I don't know what I'm doing. This is hilarious, genius shit that I've been learning on YouTube. Welcome to my new channel. Let's go to bullet point number 2 before we finish bullet point 1, which was mewing. Dr. Mew, Oscar Patel, and a whole genre of YouTube content is in and around, hey, how do I make my face hotter? How do I change my facial structure? How do I use the muscles that are in my face to make my bones more attractive? How do I align symmetry? These are things that hot girls have been urban legending. What's an urban legend? Did I learn this on YouTube? Sort of. Have you guys ever taken a YouTube video and then used the search function to make your algorithm slightly better? Forget about AI, forget about coding. Let's just do algorithmic tweaking, making our algorithm better using the search function. No pressure for you to do. No pressure for you to do Web 12. What would be the pressure to do Web 12? That would be bullet point 1, mewing, Larry Chiang comedy. Have you question, have you made a search bar search in the last 7 days that's a proactive search, not a reactive search, which is your friend demanding, hey, 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 you got to look up Larry Chiang on YouTube. You got to look it up. And then you watch a video and a half, and then you say, uh, Whereas Larry Chang Comedy Channel focused on, hey, this is stuff that Larry Chang learned on YouTube. It's hilarious. We're still on mewing. Mewing from Dr. Mew. Mewing from Oscar Patel. Mewing where I got jealous about tongue placement and then using suction to keep your tongue in the roof of your mouth. Fixing your breathing, fixing facial structure, DJing Oscar Patel to James Nestor. Live action. This is stuff that I learned on YouTube. Watch me financially benefit. Watch me financially benefit while you and I financially benefit. Watch the financial benefit. So what we're doing here is we're 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 YouTubing. That's what we're doing. And we're financially benefiting from these comedic jokes with a joke franchise because I'm done demanding follow up. I'm done with accountability. Oscar Patel and James Nestor. Period. What if Oscar and James co authored a book with Larry Chang? Co-authored a book with Larry Chang with 14 chapters. Chapter 1. You're damned if you do mew, you're damned if you don't mew. New paragraph. Chapter 2. Chapter 2. Health treasure management. Breathing, tongue placement, and counterintuitive truths to health treasure. New paragraph. Outline 14 chapters of a 3-person collaboration. Do you like how we're live action 3-weighing? 3 authors. James Nestor, breathe. Constantly talks about facial reconstruction, nasal passages growing, symmetry improving, teeth improving. Ditto, Oscar Patel. I don't think he has a book yet. Is this amazing? Is this amazing stuff? Are you having a good time? Are you having a good time? It feels like you're having a great time. Because what we're doing right now is a 3-way. Are we talking about 2 girls, 1 cup of knowledge? Book. The Damned If You Breathe Wrong, Unlocking Health Treasure Through Breath, Posture, and Entrepreneurial Grit. What? This sucks. That's okay though, because if AI were better than us, we'd be dead. A hypothetical collaboration between Oscar Patel, expert in looks maxing through natural health optimization, tongue posture, facial structure, James Nestor, best-selling author of Breath, pioneer in respiratory science, and Larry Chang, entrepreneur mentor known for navigating high-stakes decisions and credit-building strategies. This book blends cutting-edge breathing science, intuitive health practices for peak physical and aesthetic performance, no compromise entrepreneurship mindset, showing how mastering your psychology empowers you to thrive in life in no-win scenarios. Chapter 1, damned if you do, damned if you don't. The new Larry Chiang is amazing because laughing at the comments rewards people to comment more, because baiting people 50 times as a masterful baiter 50 times in 2 days, I don't know how to process that. There have been baits. And segment 2, baiting the shorts. If I didn't have YouTube, I would not have discovered something on January 28, 2021, which was also suppressed, which is the GameStop short squeeze. Oh, I don't think you're joking either. This is raw dogging. Okay. Baiting. Somebody remind me that raw dogging is segment 3, baiting is segment 2. Because the baiting will continue until the master stops baiting. I will never stop baiting in a masterful way, baiting the shorts. You see, GameStop was a shorts baiter. Shorts baiter, baiting shorts, where we're going to laugh with baits, but you're going to need to stop after peaking, and now you're going to need to grab a pen, because you're starting to have the wagon wheels fall off. Grab a pen. 1, Mew. 2, bait. 3, what was 3? What was 3? I didn't write it. What was 3? What's segment 3? Baiting 2, mewing 1. What was number 3? By tweaking the effort of this channel, which it used to be what they don't teach you in school, some genius entrepreneurship shiitake. Now it's what they don't teach you in school. Let's laugh at other people's content and make jokes about other people's content, not linking to them below. Why? Good morning. This is a historic video. Today is day 46, which reminds me I'm DJing in Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club. It hurts me more than it'll hurt you. It hurts me more than it'll hurt you, which is gonna need to time you out because your brain's broken. Come back after the timeout, better. Come back after the timeout, better. Come back after the timeout, better. You can help yourself in getting a pen. Your pen will help you. Monumentally historic video. Why? because my channel is getting tweaked. My channel is getting adjusted. My channel is benefiting from a YouTube video that I watched called CS183E. I watched this set of videos. I'm not going to link to those videos. Why? Because I don't encourage subbing, I don't encourage liking, and I don't link to products or to other people's videos. How many times have you ever clicked the link on down below? It sounds like I'm promoting something. I'm just promoting being present. I'm just promoting laughs and giggles. Giggles and laughs. I'm just promoting us having a good time. That's the entire channel. Is just having a good time. What's the content? Are you going to give up what they don't teach you in school? No. I'm going to be watching other people's YouTube comments and content and then coming up with comedic material. Think of this like it's crowd work, but more funny because it's me doing crowd work with the crowd being on YouTube mewing. Tongue placement, dealing with supermodels, the jokes write themselves. Facial symmetry, your bones in your face being flexible. We just wrote an outline for a new book, Chapter 2, Health Treasure Management, Breathing, Tongue Placement, and Intuitive Truths. Chapter 3, The Lost Art of Breathing, Why Modern Life Steals Your Power. This is the genius of watching other people's YouTube content and then asking empowering questions. I'm done saying 62, 64, 67, turbo hike, because I don't need to get you to ask good questions because that was a hard road to hoe. A hard road to hoe. 2 girls, 1 cup, much easier. The hard road to hoe was, hey, will you ask better questions? Why don't I ask better questions? Oh, I did, which is, why does each live not get 20 new subscribers? It's because my videos aren't good enough to get people to say, I want more of this content. Well, that's why we're doing today's video, breaking rules by typing on the phone, DJing in Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club. Rebranding the YouTube. Let's grow because we laugh. We laugh at YouTube content. Going live. Going live. Larry, haven't we already been live? Larry, you've been live now. Meet and re-meet the starfish. Is he the star of the show? Yeah. Because each segment is going to have 5 components, or each episode is going to have 5 segments. 1, mewing. 2, baiting. 3, we got stuck on let's solve three is three-way. Two girls, one cup, or the three-way of Oscar Patel, James Nestor, Larry Chiang. You see, maybe you haven't used AI to outline a book. Remember before AI, you would say, oh my gosh, it'd be amazing if I were to publish a book. Now people can't even read one book. That's people's reach goal for 2026 is not I'm going to write a New York Times bestseller. It's just, oh, I'm going to try to read one book next year. But remember, this is a launch party for this channel. This is us improving on my channel, which is things that are hilarious that I watched on YouTube that now we can kind of make fun of, but that we improve at our YouTube practice watching a video on editing. So when we're editing someone else's content, we can edit them to profit us into an unofficial book that they would have written. Have you guys ever taken such good notes that you hold up your little stack of notes? You hold up your little stack of notes and then you say, oh my God, I could turn this into a book. Because that's what segments do. That's what small habits do. That's the power of habits. That's Atomic Habits. That's another joke book that we came up with before, which is called Subatomic Habits in a YouTube video. You see, James Clear wrote the book Atomic Habits. This is crowd work. Crowd work is where a comedian listens to audience opinions and then comes up with funny things to say. Sometimes the funny things go overboard and then you start throwing some weird psychological stuff in your own way. That's inherent. That's okay. Come back better after your timeout. But the funny thing with crowd work is, what if we used content on YouTube to feed on itself, where we revisit, we, dare I say, expand on prior videos that they did? I'm not going to tell people to do book reports on videos. Why? Because only rich people got better. Thank you for messaging. But the whole idea of this channel was to go mainstream, not just cater to rich people who are already smart, getting smarter and richer. Will you do a book report on a video? It turns out people who are time distorted had a hard time realizing that 12 sentences of summary is all the benefit. All the benefit of a video happens after the video ends. I was trying to get all the benefit of the video while the video was still rolling. That's still possible, but that's only for people that are empowered, that ask themselves the question, which is, hey, how does this channel become better than how does this channel have value? How does this video become valuable? And Oscar Patel leads off with, this video is legendary, where each video causes you to get recommended 3 to 4 more videos. With my videos, it's pretty much one and done. And whose fault is that? That's my fault because I engineered the videos to be one and done. What is this video? This video is meant to get you hooked on watching 5 more comedic segments. What's the comedy topic? It's super easy for me to say, which is things that I learned on YouTube. That's it. Things that I learned on YouTube, but snarky. Things I learned on YouTube, which includes all the Harvard, Stanford stuff, boiled down into something that people can benefit from. This is also a video that I watched, which is how to fake reading in these easy steps. All of YouTube is fake people into encouraging you to fake think. I'm not saying all people are fake, because the legit people, they're going to just tell it to you raw with no edits. Look at how carefully curated and engineered people's personal brands are. So, not to throw shade, but this is you understanding everything on the other side, which is, do YouTube influencers cause you to have any inkling of accountability? Or is the entire video getting you to think that you're thinking? In public speaking, in motivational speaker, in selling workshops, and the business model of what are you doing on YouTube, getting people to think they're thinking is the sweet spot of getting paid money, because getting people to be accountable is detrimental to viewership. It's negatively impactful for audience size and virality. That's why this channel is going to stay with all the philosophies that I previously once held, not dumbing it down, because if you look at the historical nature of my YouTube practice going on years and years, it initially started with what they don't teach you at Harvard Business School. Then I dumbed it down and gained more than 500 subscribers when I just called it what they don't teach you in school. Now it's going to get simultaneously more valuable as it becomes more popular. Things that I learned on YouTube that they didn't teach me in school. You see, this is me watching a video called Crossing the Chasm. I will not link to the author or the YouTube content creator, because it'd be linking, and how many times have you ever clicked a link in the description? The video is called Crossing the Chasm from the Right. And the author, the speaker of the video, the author also, I think they got a book, which I will also not link to, and I also will not be quoting page numbers. Page 37, page 79, page 121, page 159. I won't be quoting page numbers for you to write down. I'll be quoting page numbers to make sure that I'm practicing my brain. Moonwalking with Einstein discovered that hilarious stuff also. You see, Cross the Chasm from the Right was a video that I watched. And did I get jealous that I get jealous of the author? You see, that's the FOMO component. That's fear of missing out. Did you miss out on writing a book on mewing? No, we just wrote it out, called James Nestor, Larry Chiang, Oscar Patel. Did you FOMO, cross a chasm from the right? You see, the fear of missing out is causing you no stress because now you don't fear missing out on anything. But what if you saw why I'm doing something? This is me FOMOing. What if somebody took my content, edited it together to make a Larry Chang Clips channel? That person would load and explode. That person would springboard. That person would be chapter 65ing of Snowball. You see, I'm trying to push a snowball, Warren Buffett, pun intended, down a hill, segment number 3, Snowball. My snowball has not been formed properly. My snowball is not getting bigger. Snowball, it's a Warren Buffett, Alice Seibold book. Snowball, it's momentum of compounding executions. Have my videos compounded? They have not. I am teetering on 5,000 videos on today, day number 46. Of what? Of a franchise that was only supposed to have 26 days. This franchise is called hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. Mewing, baiting, snowballing. Let's just cut it off at those 3 and re-go with mewing. There's content that is looks maxing. It's Gen Z for sure. It's supplanting having a CPAP machine. It's substituting equipment that people have insurance purchased for them, but they themselves don't use. Is this the 5th epiphany, which is another video that I watched? It is. What are the 4 epiphanies? It's customer discovery, which is us hanging out. Did you discover new content? That's customer discovery. Step 2 of the 4 steps to the epiphany are customer validation, meaning, are you potentially a customer for future comedy sessions? Customer creation. Are you going to take 4 steps to the epiphany, come up with a 5th epiphany, and say, I'm going to create customers for content that I'm stealing from Larry Chang, no attribution required. Customer creation. You like that? That's all the entrepreneurship of before, with the brain teaser of, hey, you should do customer creation. This is the 5th epiphany via company building. Why is company building number 4? Why is company building number 4? Because we're turning around the company of You Incorporated. This is all Duck 9. Deeply understanding credit knowledge. Remember, it's Larry the Starfish. He's got 5 components. Deeply understanding capital knowledge. Deeply understanding venture capital knowledge. Deeply understood Chinese knowledge, doing a turnaround. You see, on the video that took place on 1212, aka day 42 of the hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking bankruptcy. We talked about what they don't teach you at Harvard Business School about search fund that they used to teach you at Harvard Business School. Is that a YouTube video that I watched? Yes. Why is that funny? It's funny because DEI caused HBS students to lower the bar. You see, within Snowball, sometimes our Snowball can get microwaved via a military device that you don't even know about, which is being able to heat up an object like it's a microwave. So your Snowball gets destroyed. Who's the Snowball? That would be, yay, I got into Harvard. They lowered the bar for me because I'm a certain ethnicity. Now, all the classes need to become worse because you're not a shooting starfish shooting star. You're DEI, that's okay. It's going to hurt search fund. You see, the way the old class worked is that there were winners and there were losers. That's how the old class worked, where there was a bell curve. Even saying bell curve right now gets you demonetized. That's okay because we're going to make our own money. This is my YouTube business model. I watched a YouTube video on business model generation. This is how you can benefit from that. The class at Harvard became worse. It's called Search Fund. That's Duck 9 turnaround. This is how the class used to work. This is the real numbers. So you would fundraise a fund, $180 million. Not everybody would fundraise $180 million, but that's why you go to Harvard, is you gain access to LPs because you got into Harvard. And then now you're in a class on Search Fund. So because it was so hard to get into class, some LP, PE, VC, LP limited partner, PE private equity, VC venture capitalist is going to say, I don't know what you're trying to do, but at least you got into Harvard. I'll throw some money at you. Let's hope it works out. This is the way the class used to work. I watched a video on this. You fundraise 140 to 150 units of money. You then take that money and you go to try to buy a business for 130 or 110. And then you use the difference to operate the business and improve it. Remember, Duck 9, deeply understanding credit knowledge, deeply understanding capital knowledge, deeply understanding VC, PE, LP, deeply understanding Chinese knowledge, turning it around by realizing, hey, Irv Grausbeck, what if your search fund did not require money? That's deeply understanding a JBA, a Jedi in Business Administration, a Jewish business administration. Look it up. Jewish people have been asking for 20% of a company for zero money since the Wright brothers. Is that page 168? You tell me. Mushi, mushi, mushi is going to be segment number 5, which is, can you memorize your jokes? Mushi, 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 which is memorize right, memorize right, memorize right, spelled out in a sensory specific way that allows you to financially benefit, because Mushi 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 is a book that has not yet been written. Taking notes on my Twitter. Just posted treasure mapping Mushi Mushi Mushi. Will you write out Mushi 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 so that way you can financially benefit? Because you love writing that out. You're welcome. Do you like how new Larry loses his train of thought, whereas old Larry would never lose his train of thought? I know. All these new things. There you go. Back on track. Back on track. Segment 5. You see, at Harvard, that sounds so bad. You see, at Harvard, which is, if you're new here, I only went to the University of Illinois. I got Stanford Harvard knowledge by watching YouTube videos. I'm that guy. Do you want to be that person too? Harvard. So at Harvard, they would ask you to fundraise 150 sticks, $150 million. Only half the class would be able to do so. The other half of the class was like, hey, this sucks. Is there a way that we can all win? Once you once you once you say, let's try to get everyone to succeed, nobody's going to succeed. This is also what's wrong with the economy right now. Is it's so messed up. This is how to benefit, which is why this channel gives me goosebumps, because this channel is an opportunity to turn it all around. This is the new class at Harvard, is buying a small business. Everybody can get a 250K small business administration loan. Why would you go to Harvard, spend $270,000 just to buy a business for $250,000? I could have done that going to one of those Indian people hotel buying an Econo Lodge weekend workshops, income statements, balance sheets, lead generation, basic property acquisition out of bankruptcy, turning around a bankrupt location. Now you're buying a dog with fleas with actual US dollars. Where did you get the financing from? I got the financing from another person who owns another hotel. This is not what you want to do. You don't want to do entrepreneurship via acquisition. You see, the original class is Search Fund. And then who did a class that was basically Search Fund, not at the 9-figure level, which is $150 million. Entrepreneurship via acquisition is at the 8-figure level. But then if you're going to drop it from 9 figures to 8 figures, won't it be more inclusive to drop it down to 6 figures? No, it's going to decimate people dead. Day 42, hashtag 26 days of avoiding the financial hell called bankruptcy. Hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. Do you get why that genius thing is 26 days of doing turnarounds? It's 26 days of you investigating credit where you're voraciously reading it, Jerry Detweiler's book, no link on down below, with saying, oh my God, does the address hashtag 530 Lytton cause me to use a hashtag for the first time since my life began, because what this video is not commanding you, encouraging you, or motivating you to do something in the real world. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm done doing that. This channel is now, hey, come back once a week for your weekly dose of comedy and your weekly dose of me getting you to think that you're thinking and definitely not do anything. Oh, we don't want to actually turn around a hotel, motel, Econo Lodge for no money. Oh, we don't want to do that. Hashtag Hector's Waffle House, Hector's Waffle Motel. This video is gold. And I'm breaking another rule, which is I'm on my phone. I'm on my phone during a YouTube live, relaunching a channel on, hey, will this channel be totally different? It's, my new channel's slightly adjusted. The adjustment is this. Writing at the chalkboard, that's tough. Talking and typing, tougher. So my channel's on funny stuff that I watched on YouTube that they didn't teach me in school. Josh Foer, a video I watched, no link down below. He went from journalist to champion. What was he journalisting? What was he journaling? What was he reporting on? He was reporting on memory competitions. Mushy, mushy, mushy. Self-admittedly, he said, I have a bad memory. Self-admittedly, during a podcast, he was talking about how his memory was average at best. How did he become memory champion? That's because he joined the circus. That's because he is a journalist. See, what happens when you're a journalist is your brain wires because you're forced to take notes. Is this me asking you to locate a pen? No, we're done doing that. This channel is funny stuff that I watched on YouTube. Let's make fun. Let's make fun. Larry, where's the fun part in this? It's Josh Ford joining the circus. What's funny about that? It's funny because I go to baseball games. You guys have maybe not seen my selfie at a baseball game. But you see, at these baseball games, I like taking notes. And it's not like I love taking notes. I just love sitting behind home plate and getting scouts to ask me questions, which are, hey, Larry, does that Stanford pitcher, does he start? You see, when you walk and talk like the other people, people tend to like you. When you're like other people, people tend to like you. So I started taking notes at baseball games because I really should have been taking notes to extend my playing career earlier. Or I should have been taking notes because the tool that I did not have in my 6-tool bag, which is some hilarious content that I one time watched on YouTube. There's no link down below, which is how to be a 5-tool baseball player. and then the intangible of the sixth tool. That's the intangible made tangible using a pad of paper. So, scouts, they're trying to rate people 20 to 80. This is hilarious content that I've seen on YouTube. Why rate 20 to 80? Because it's inside baseball and they couldn't make it easy from 0 to 100. So they're going to rate people on a scale of 20 to 80. When you say 80 arm, it's a person who throws 95, 96 miles an hour. That's an 80 arm or a 100 arm. Or a 100 mile an hour from the outfield is an 80 arm in right field. So I would take notes, and by taking notes, I then transferred those notes to my journal on Twitter, which is hashtag Scout Whisperer, and scouts would also have Twitter accounts. It's funny because I became the Scout Whisperer because I would say, hey, that sixth tool was a notebook. Or I would see scouts' notes and I would ask them, hey, what format do you use for taking notes? Because if you could just put a scout's analyst brain inside of a baseball player, that baseball player doubles. This is the funny component, which is the joke, which is W. W is a sextuple entendre because one, it's the letter W, which is win. W is doubling you. W is a nice hotel that normally scouts don't stay in because normally scouts have to stay at a Homewood, a Fairfield Suites, or whatever the travel office books for about $100 a night. W, it's booking Omaha College World Series 300 plus days before. Is this the 12 days of Christmas? It's actually the 365 days of Christmas. But because I watched a YouTube video and that joke video already got made, we're taking it up a level, which is mushy, mushy, mushy. There are going to be 2,026 days of Christmas. Let me repeat that. Not every day is Christmas. We're doing 2,026 days of Christmas next year. Why? Because Jewish people killed Jesus. This is a way for atonement. We are now celebrating all the Jesus birthdays in 1 year. Adopt Jesus Christ as your Savior. He's already Jewish. Game over. We won. Look at the calendar. It's December 2025. Look at the calendar. Look at the calendar. We won. We won. If it were 2030 years ago, that year would be 4 BC. BC is before Christ. That's how you know you've lived an impactful life, where they have to literally reset the calendar. No shroud required, no carbon dating required. Look at the calendar. It's the resetting of the calendar. Christians won. Get over it. So what they don't teach you at Harvard Business School, that they used to teach you at Harvard Business School, day 42 of the hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking bankruptcy. I watched a video on old Harvard Business School. There's no link down below, which is fundraising over $100 million. Now let's not go bankrupt. What happens when you fundraise $150 million? You don't go buy a business for $30 million. That's what you should do. In fact, what you should do is use software to M&A the business, not even having to spend any of the money that's in your fund. This is what's called generational wealth. Is you don't pass the money on, the money doesn't get passed. The techniques get passed. This is Web 0, which is before the internet even became a thing. Letters from Rockefeller to his kids. Letters by and between the Wright brothers. Letters such as the Postal Service. You see, when you write a letter to your co-founder, Orville Wright, I watched this in a video. The link is not down below. The whole book that Walter Isaacson came up with for the biography on the Wright brothers was researched via letters that would get sent between Orville and Wilbur. George Washington, Henry Cabot's book on the George Washington biography. What struck me is the video that I watched on the book addressed the fact that letter writing showed that the co-founder of America used his brain astutely, was able to think up words to write down in organized thoughts that he then persuaded Congress to be to allocate resources. So you're writing these letters to get people to do what you want them to do. But the first person that you need to manipulate when you're writing a letter is the first person you need to alter is you. You need to alter yourself. That's what writing does. This is Web 0, where look at how you try to text message strange. Look at how you try to booty text. A lot of people use the same language for every girl that they're trying to persuade. This is Web 0, where Web 2 is social media. It's been broken. It's going to keep breaking people more and more. This is an opportunity for you because look at Gen Z. Females spend 70% of their time on social media, not while they're on their phone. This is their life. It's being merged and acquired. You don't even need to get plugged into a matrix style red pill, blue pill battery. It's eating you through a phone that you're eyeballing into with a blue face. 70% of your life on social. That's Web 2. Web 3 is the hodgepodge shitcoin of a technology that will never come to fruition. Why? Because Web 5 is cryptocurrency. Web 5 is Bitcoin. Web 4, on a video that I watched, yeah, I made it, but still I watched it and I learned something, which is why I tweet the way I do, which is Web 4, fiat strikes back. Making money is mining money, mining Bitcoin, super competitive. Mining fiat, much, much, much easier. Web 4. Oh, but Larry, there's a bunch of people that are cheating and making money barely legally, right? Fraudulent food. When they sell you mush at a restaurant, that's because the money's broken. They're trying to defraud you. I used to sell you a high quality cheeseburger. Now I'm going to replace the meat with sawdust. I watched that in a YouTube video called McDonald's. Ditto the milkshakes. They're fake. It's a fake thing. This is fake everything. Web 4, because it's also baiting the shorts. Remember, Web 4 is we can actually benefit from catching other people's fraud. That's fiat striking back. The reason Web 4 is genius and hilarious is fiat striking back. It sounds like the empire strikes back. Here, everybody thought just because you know what Web 5 is, and you are lucky because you know what Web 12 is, but just because you know what Web 5 is doesn't mean that the people that control US dollars are going to go down without a fight, because everyone can see the writing on the wall as soon as Bitcoin hit $200 is it's not going to go to zero. And because it doesn't go to zero, it's going to go to infinity, which is the numerator and the denominator. And the numerator is everything. The denominator is 21 million because there's no more ever than 21 million. Web 12 jokes, advanced, which is me short selling 669 billion Bitcoin. Why? Because hashtag LABCS 1459, which is Web 4. How do you force MicroStrategy to sell their just over 650,000 Bitcoin? How do you do that? By causing them to delve into Lecture 11, Stram GT 353. Larry, you're supposed to be dumbing down this content. Oh, this is as dumbed down as it can be. It can't be dumbed down anymore because Feng Li has 671,268 Bitcoin. That's a problem because I watched it in a YouTube video. I watched this in a YouTube video. I won't be linking to it, which is Feng Li. Why is the CFO the CEO? That rarely happens. This is why. Because I watched in a YouTube video that the bond market is trillions of dollars. Is bond segment 6? Bond. Trillions in bonds. Fixed income. $MSTR, $STRC, $STRD, $STRK, $STRF, $MSTR. You see, Larry the Starfish is pulling triple duty because fixed income, it's a problem. The only way to curtail the fact that MicroStrategy is going to become the most valuable company in the world is to try to bankrupt it, baiting, shorting shares that you don't have. Can you push the MNAV lower than 1.0? MNAV is the ratio of Bitcoin value to corporate value. So if you've got 671,000 Bitcoin, can you make the total value of the company under $671,000? 671,000 Bitcoin. To put it into baiting terms, let's say that there's a company, a movie theater. They have $3 billion on hand, but the total market cap is below $3 billion. What that shows is a fake economy where price discovery died. Hey, did you watch that in a video? Yes, I did. This is why this is funny. Is I figured out how MNAV. MNAV is just the parallel to the amount of Bitcoin that you own divided by your total company value. Ditto a company. If a company's holding $6 billion in cash, why is the total company worth only $4 billion? It's because of financial shenanigans. It's because of Web 4. It's because of allegedly naked short selling. This is Toys R Us. This is Overstock. Hashtag LABCS 1451. I can't help it. It's mushy, mushy, mushy all day long. These are jokes. So, to encapsulate and help you tidal wave jokes, it's realizing this. When Dave Chappelle was telling jokes for $400, there's only one person in the audience taking notes. That person was me. And I'm not saying that I'm going to make more money in the audience than the rest of the audience combined, which is what I am saying. But I'm saying that jokes are the Monsters Incorporated business model, because scaring people, that's no longer going to be a thing because I'm already naturally scary. What did Monsters Inc., what did Sully do? What did Mike Wazowski do? Everybody meet Mike Wazowski. What did Sully and Mike Wazowski do? Took a company that went from scaring people to making people laugh. That's what we're doing here, is we're taking a channel that used to be super scary, and now we're making the channel into we being Larry Chiang, Larry the Starfish, and Larry the Starfish. We are now making the channel into a comedy channel by watching things on YouTube and then coming up with funny things about what we watched on YouTube. To finish and bookend with mewing before I wrap up this video, thank you for your attention. Thank you for your positive energy, and thank you for you benefiting from these videos. I'm going to bookend it with mewing. So these models, they would have these routines that would be go to bed routines. See, I'm a guy. My go to bed routine is I go to bed. In fact, that's from Sully. Where he would have to babysit a kid, and he's like, this is my go to bed routine. I go to bed. But the way a girl goes to bed, especially if she's looks maxing, is she's got to do 90 minutes of work before she goes to bed, mewing, facial exercises, all sorts of things before she even can go to sleep, or at least lay in bed because it's going to take another 90 minutes to fall asleep. This is a video I watched on how to fall asleep better. I had no idea that other people would take 90 minutes to go to sleep, go to bed, and then not sleep for 90 minutes. I'm not talking about fun between the sheets. I'm talking about they just can't fall asleep. They being women. Yes, I date women. This is what I learned. To bookend mewing, mewing is where proper tongue placement within your palate with nasal breathing adjusts your face to make your facial structure better looking. Mewing. I determined that I had been mewing all along. I just didn't conscientiously do it in a way that was a beginner mindset. So I'm watching a video getting jealous of their technique when in fact I already had this technique, which I got from tongue exercises. The jokes just write themselves, not the cunning linguist joke, which is cunnilingus. Cunnilingus? I just know the regular, which is cunning linguist. Cunnilingus? Is that how to say that word? I've never said it the right way. Now I've said it the wrong way. It's not cunnilingus as a joke, which is vagina kissing. It's vagina whispering. It's pussy magnet. It's understanding the brain on tongue management, which is programming your subconscious. This video is crescendoing with learn one line of code, which is, are you going to talk about computer code? No, this is my new channel, which is jokes. The one line of code is coding your brain on tongue placement, an awareness of, hey, where's my tongue? Where's my tongue? Where's my tongue right now? Because suctioning your tongue to the roof of your mouth is how I keep my tongue on the roof of my mouth. How do you begin to mew? Bookending. Hilarious stuff that I watched on YouTube. So this is how to mew. No link down below, just do it now. Which is tongue on roof of mouth. Sit up straight, tongue roof of mouth. Open your mouth, smile, look up, tongue on roof of mouth, look up, now swallow. Try it again. I'll walk you through it without doing it. So tongue on roof of mouth. You can do this. Come on. It's good for you. Matching and mirroring. Deep breath in. Out through the nose. In through the nose. Okay, tongue on roof of mouth. Feel your vertebrae increase. We should just do mewing like my 19-minute video on blowing your nose for 19 minutes. Ditto yesterday's video, which was 19 minutes of coconut oil pulling. So, tongue top of mouth, I'm going to walk you through this, mewing. Now, smile, smile. I can't help but do it, but I'm going to not do it so I can talk you through it. Smile, look up, tongue top of mouth, big smile, look up. Now swallow. What you're practicing is a lot of people use their cheek muscles. This is the wrong way to do it, which is, and when you have bad tongue swallowing, you have a bad neck. You have you have action in your neck. Like, look at how nice my neck is with the jawline. That's Oscar Patel's entire channel, no link on down below, which is, can you do face exercises to pull your cheekbones higher? Can you realize that your muscles cause eyelid droop if you don't make pliable your muscles? Is this a YouTube video that I watched that my mentee Tom Brady did for muscle pliability? It is. Am I going to laugh at him? No. Because that's for the next video where I laugh at him. If this content made you laugh, and if you think this video, it was okay, but I think he can do better, maybe we should connect via a subscribe. Old Larry would not ask you for a subscribe. New Larry wants to connect because this is going to be playful and fun, which is us benefiting from a video that I watched, Crossing the Chasm from the Right. Not going to scare people into, oh, doom, destruction, bankruptcy is coming for everybody. We're going to laugh at YouTube videos that I've watched while we get better from video to video. It was fun hanging out with you guys. It was fun, fun, fun.